Hello.
What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole, this is Dude That's Fucked Up.
Welcome. How y'all doing?
Welcome. I just saw, okay, if you're watching on Spotify, I was like digging around in our analytics earlier to pull, we had to like pull something for someone we work with. And I looked and like people watch our video.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're on Spotify and you're watching this, hi, you can see me waving. This is what we look like.
This is my face.
Yeah, these are faces. But I thought that was very cool because I thought, you know, it's hard to change a behavior on a platform.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, and I don't know, I didn't look into how long people are watching. Like maybe they switched to just listening or whatever. But I thought that was really cool. And it's so fun that that's an option for people.
Yeah, I love it. If you don't listen on Spotify or you're not on Spotify.
Yeah.
And you could also watch us on YouTube if you want to watch us.
Yeah. So, and it looks like the experience is the same looks wise, same video feed.
Yep, exactly. Very cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, what's going on with you? What's happening?
I don't know. I feel like today, I feel like I've turned a corner attitude wise, which has been very nice. And I'm like trying to, this is all very in line with today's topic, by the way. But it's like, God. I'm like trying to open myself up to the universe, which I know sounds very woo woo for me. I'm very like, self-righteous, judgmental, something I learned about myself this weekend at like a retreat / seminar. If you know, you know. And you can DM me for more questions if you want to ask me about it. But I just feel like I've contextualized my life and I'm opening myself up for like opportunity and like getting out of my own way and not being like so fucking scared to fail and just trying to put myself out there. And guess what, bitch? The universe delivers, because a friend reached out to me today and is like, hey, I have a paying gig for you. Would you want to host this fundraiser? We're doing a bingo night. It's next Wednesday. We're going to pay you X amount of money. And like, you just have to come and be cute and fun and like read the numbers. And I was like, yes, bitch. That is 100% what I want to do. So it's wild. Oh
my God.
Yeah. I'm so excited. Yeah. So
that's so great. Oh man.
Because I'm like committing to myself, believing in myself, doing all these things. And it sounds so corny. Fucking, I know it. But you know what? I just got to believe in myself. Who else? I can't expect anyone else to if I don't. Bitch, you know what I mean?
That's right. Don't should on yourself or something. Is that something?
Don't should on yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, like I should
do this.
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's fascinating how we just get into these mindsets. And, you know, I've been through a lot this past year and a half. Like, it has been a hard year.
Yes.
And so, but I don't want to use that as an excuse to, like, not live my life, you know?
Right. I mean, there's a difference between being gentle and kind to yourself and using, your softness as an excuse for not doing something.
Yeah. And also just once you start, my therapist, so wise all the time, just like right on time with all of her information. Love her so much. Last week when I was like really going through it, she was like, you know, she told me about the like focus on the basics, you know, get back to basics. That was her one piece of advice. And then another one that I've like remembered, you know, now that my mind shift has changed a bit. I'm like, oh, like when you're looking for the flaws, you'll see the flaws. And this was all reinforced this weekend for me at this retreat seminar. When like what you're focused on is what you'll see. What you're looking for is what you'll see. If you recontextualize that, if you change your like thinking to look, and this is not toxic positivity. It's just shifting
It's a
the
reframe.
context. It's a reframe. But it's like when you like so my therapist was like, you're starting to look for reasons why you'll fail now. Like maybe you've had a few things that didn't work out well or whatever, and now you've used those as evidence that every time you put yourself out there, it's not going to go well. And and that's not a good way to look at it. You'll never win that way. And win, it's like, succeed, live a happy life. Like it's all the same thing, you know?
And it's like, you know, yes, of course you want to learn from past experiences, but also you can't let like, you know, X, Y, and Z experience color something future that hasn't even happened yet.
Yes. Like future worrying.
Future worrying. And this is, I think we were talking about this, something that I read recently, that the, not practice, but the like, loop that you get into of self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Even without even knowing it, just like, you know, having that negative like mindset or whatever, like it's going to be terrible or like I'm going to suck at this, like I'm not even going to try or whatever.
Yeah.
That idea of the like process of self-sabotage is a form of control.
Oh,
when you're like, because you know what
you're
the outcome is going
right.
to be. Yeah, you're proving yourself right, and you're creating the outcome by already like having that in your mind. So,
dude, this shit's powerful. That's powerful to hear because you're like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want that to be what I'm doing. I don't want, you're taking yourself down. You're fucking fighting against yourself when you're doing that.
Yeah.
And it's so.
It's really hard to get out of that.
It's really hard. It's a practice.
And you have to learn the tools, the proper tools to like get yourself to a place where you're able to catch yourself and reframe and know how to do that. You know what I mean? It's not easy, but once you recognize that shit and the patterns that you get in, it's This is what was told to me though. You can break the pattern by interrupting it, by talking yourself up in positive ways. So like I went to an open mic, my first one in like 2 years since the pandemic started. Like more than 2 years, on Tuesday. Oh, wow.
I was like, this is my commitment to myself. It was something I had to do this week. I like set a goal for myself in front of multiple people, and I have someone who's going to hold me accountable and like who is calling me on Saturday. And like if I didn't do it, I would have been so ashamed. So I was like, I'm going to do it. And then on Tuesday, I started to try and bail multiple times. And my friend Rachel goes, no. She's like, you're coming up with excuses. And I was like, oh, I'm aware. Like she's like, you're trying to bail. I'm like, I know. Yeah. And I was like, fine. And then it was like pouring rain. And I was like, fuck, I got to drive to Glendale. And which like, whatever. We like picked such a far away mic. But I've been there. It's fine. Like it was great. And on the way there, I just like stopped my like thinking because I was starting to get nervous. And I had been nervous all day. And I was like, stop. This is low stakes. You're going to show up. You're going to have fun. You're going to feel so blessed that you got to stand up on stage for 3 minutes with a microphone and tell people jokes. Yeah. Like, and so what if no one laughs? And maybe you'll start crying because you're doing jokes about your dead dad. But like, it is what it is, you know? And so I was just like, and it's fine. Whatever it ends up being is fine. And I did it. And like,
Did you cry?
No. I thought I was going to for a second. I was like, oh no, I felt guilty that I was like maybe bringing the room down, but bitch, I knew I had some good jokes. So I was like, you know what? This is good because I'm just bringing the energy down so that when I punch them with this punchline, it's going to fucking blow. And it did. And it was like the saddest mic. People were not laughing. I got great laughs. I like recorded it and listened back to it. It was real. And like, it wasn't the most amazing set or anything. It was rambly and whatever, like kind of like I'm doing now. But also, I just was like so present, and afterwards I wasn't super high or super low. I just was. And I was like, this is it. Like, this is the thing. It is not a big deal. These are getting your reps in. It's practice. Like, this is how it should feel. It should feel.
Also, like, you're not a fucking like comedy master yet.
I know.
Like,
I'm not Sarah Silverman. Like, I know.
Yeah. No, like
there's no stakes.
No offense. No, that's not. I just mean like, you know, it's like with anyone going into something they've
starting out.
They're starting out,
yes,
or even if you're like intermediate, whatever. It's like you're not like gonna be perfect at it. And
but we all want to be. That's the thing. It's like you want to skip the painful part of learning, and you just want to be really good and excel at things.
You want to just like download.
Works.
You just want to download the Matrix cartridge and just be good at Kung Fu, and that's just literally not how it works. So
I know.
Yeah, but I'm so proud of you, dude.
Thank you, dude.
Awesome.
Erin has been such a blessing. Erin is who introduced me to the seminar this weekend, and she just knew this was the time I needed it, and it was like all kind of a little bit of a surprise how it found its way to me, and it all worked out. I was like maybe not gonna do it this weekend. I was like maybe I'll wait till the next one, and then I was like no, that's silly. Let me do it. I'm feeling pretty low, and it just it didn't build me back up. I built myself back up.
That's right, bitch.
I know, and it was just bless your heart, and thank you so much, because it was I just felt so loved and so taken care of, even though I was there doing the work and you weren't there. But
I mean, I'm there. I was there in spirit. I was thinking about you the whole weekend.
You were. And we talked about it, and it was great. Yeah, it was so fun to talk about it. But
oh my God.
I know.
Wow. I mean, bitch, I'm proud of you.
Thanks. I'm proud of me too.
You're doing the work, and that's hard. And
it's hard, yeah.
It's a journey for sure.
It is.
I don't know. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. How are you?
Great. I'm great, actually. I've been good. Yeah. Everything's chill.
Yeah.
We're just riding a wave through the holidays here. We're about to hit, the shit is about to hit the fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were talking about it, how it's just it's how it always goes.
Yeah.
It never fails. Mid-October, you're just oh wow, it's suddenly fall, and then it's oh whoops, it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because everything comes up so fast. All the Thanksgiving just really takes you for a ride, and then you're it's done. So
and then the year's over and you're starting again. Yeah.
Exactly. So
oh my God.
Whew, just getting through it. It's all good. I can't believe it's almost 2023.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Anything else you had going on that you wanted to?
I just want to plug something real quick, some biz before we segue into the episode. Mm-hmm. So I was recently on a brand new podcast. I was a guest. Yes. It's called the Queer XP. XP is a gaming thing. It's how much XP do you have?
Okay.
So it's. And you could find it at the Queer XP on Twitter, or also Instagram, I think, if you're leaving Twitter. And it's a nerd, pop culture, and gaming podcast, and it's hosted by my friend Eric, who I met through Twitch streaming. So this is a friend I've never met in person. We just hang out online. It's very nerdy and fun. And he had me on, and basically we played a tabletop role playing game. So
okay.
He talks about very nerd pop culture. So TTRPGs, that's tabletop role playing games, board games, video games, all this stuff, but through the lens of being queer, mm-hmm. and being and also how maybe those games are either good for that space, not good for that space. It's very interesting discourse.
I love that.
So check it out, but also I'm on an episode. By the time our episode airs, it will have been up. It comes out every Monday. So it just was up 2 days ago. And I don't know what he's calling the episode, but we played this game called Slasher Flick, which is a horror film.
Okay.
We're basically building the narrative of a horror film through dice and stuff.
Oh, fun.
It is fucking unhinged. It is I loved it, and I delivered one of the best jokes I have ever delivered, improvised. I was so proud of myself. So even if you listen just for that, I swear to God, it's worth it. And I surprised everyone on that. We were on a Zoom call. I surprised everyone on it, and they all were fucking oh, and it was so fun. Anyway, and I'm not being cocky, just proud, because it just came to me in the heat of the moment. And my character is a sarcastic goth chick that works at the mall.
Oh my God.
It's so dumb. It's fun. But anyway, that's you could find at the Queer XP on Twitter, Instagram, and like find out how to listen to it.
I can't wait to hear it. I can't
Oh my
wait
God.
to hear your joke.
It's so fun. I mean, the rest of it is very fun too, but I just was
yeah.
proud of this moment that like I don't know.
I love it. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I don't even want to say what it's sexual, but it was really fun. It may have been about
sexual.
Yeah, it may have been about pegging. Who's to say?
Bitch.
Okay. Should we segue into the topic this week?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay.
I am ready.
Oh my God, we're so ready. Erin's going to take over in a second, but I did want to say I wanted to give another shout out to my cousin Natalie, who is the bestower of the gift of Louis XVI's second butthole. Or Louis XIV?
Louis XIV.
Was it? Or did I get that backwards?
I think it's Louis XIV.
Oh, okay. Louis XIV. I can't
Maybe
remember.
16th. I don't know.
Oh God.
I think Louis XVI was beheaded.
Oh, Louis the.
Or wait, I can't remember.
Oh, the Sun King, Louis XIV. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, bestower of the gift of Louis XIV's second butthole. Everyone will remember that. Listen, it is people's favorite thing that they've ever learned from this podcast, and it is compliments of my own flesh and blood.
Bless
her heart.
Bless her heart.
Oh my God. And so she texted me, and of course, anytime she texts me a topic, it's fire.
Always.
And she just, okay, I just want to read what she wrote because it's very funny, and hopefully it doesn't like give too much away. But she texted me, and this was like after we had been at a memorial for my grandpa who passed away like in February.
Oh God.
But we talked the whole time about tabletop role-playing games, and we were just like fucking dorking out, and it was so much fun. And I love her so much. She's very smart and interesting. She wrote, "Hey Nicole, I might have missed it if you guys already did it, but have you and Erin ever done an episode on the history of tarot? I was trying to look it up, and I guess one French dude made up a ton of shit about it being ancient and Romani and Egyptian, and people still believe it today." Which I guess means that's not true.
Well, it is. That's pretty close to the gist of it.
Yeah.
But there's like, it's so interesting. Like, I was like, what are you talking about? I thought tarot was made up by a witch in a cave somewhere. Like, or, I don't know. Like,
yeah, Nicole Kidman and Sandy B.
Yeah.
Practical
like,
magic.
What the fuck? I thought this was like some like ancient knowledge passed down through millennia. But as it turns out, well, not unfortunately, but I don't know.
Honestly, fortunately,
yeah, we kind of know. It's basically evolved from, and nobody knows for sure which came first, but it came from a game of playing a card game. Yeah. We're talking about games so much right now. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the gaming episode.
Yeah. So nobody knows for sure when and which game of playing cards came first, but the tarot that we know today evolved from card games from 15th century Europeans, Italians specifically, and it's not from, like I said, some ooky spooky witches casting spells, but from drunk Italians.
Oh my gosh, mi familia.
It's a me, tarot. Sorry. That's
God. It's a me, a tarot.
Oh, man. So a lot of these decks, like back in those days, had images on them. Like these were like works of art and still are to this day, honestly.
I bought my first and only deck because the artist I'm obsessed with made one.
Yeah. I first and foremost, tarot has always been like an art form.
Yeah.
Just because like it started out these like cards that were made for this game. Mm-hmm. These games that like Italian people played. A lot of the images were inspired in part by Italian festivals and plays. Mm-hmm. So much culture already. And the hottest game that Italians were playing was called Carta da Trifoni. Carta da Trifoni.
Oh my God.
A bridge-like game that had like the 4 suits that we know today, and like the other cards with more personality, just like a bunch of random ones. And they had allegorical symbols on them, like fools, devils, death, and then those were considered like trump cards, and that's where the word trifoni comes in. I guess that means, I don't know. There's that. It has like trump card is like the meaning of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the trump card is like a winning card in this ancient game.
Copy that. Like an ace today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like having an entire suite of aces or jokers.
Ooh.
And the joker card that we know today is probably related to the fool in modern tarot.
Ooh.
So that's fun.
I love that. Oh,
and then
I also want to say that, okay, so because you brought up the fool thing. So the term tarot is French, technically, I believe. Because people in Italy, France, Germany were all playing similar card games in like the 14th and 15th centuries. Yep. And so that's why it's hard to kind of pinpoint like the origin. And tarot is French.
Yeah.
But it's, some people believe that the word tarot derives from tarocchi, which is an Italian word whose root taroc translates to quote unquote foolishness. And I just fucking love that we've named this thing that like how we can like derive the word tarot and like the origins of it is like from foolishness. That is so fun to me and makes me love this so much more.
Yeah, it started out as just this like fun game that people were playing for entertainment.
Oh my
God.
I'm
thinking, I don't know, like imagine if like in a few hundred years, I don't know, people like start ascribing like mystical meaning to like Monopoly or something. I don't know.
Like, you're the thimble. It's like, no, the thimble is like, I've heard that the thimble's the worst.
It symbolizes having diarrhea for the rest of your life. I don't know.
Because it's like pooping through a sieve.
Yeah.
And it's really horrible. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very fun. The entomology of tarot is in and of itself great. The oldest surviving tarot cards are the 15 or so Visconti Sforza tarot decks painted in the mid 15th century for the rulers of the Duchy of Milan.
I read that as Duchy, and I was like, the who of Milan?
The Duchy of Milan? The Duchy?
Because I'm reading all these, like, you know, like all the Italians, like,
is the CH is
like
it?
CH. Yeah. So I thought it was Dookie, and I was like, the who? The what?
The Duchy of Milani.
Milano.
Milano. And because the earliest tarot cards were hand painted, the number of the decks produced is thought to have been really small. So having
rich people stuff.
Yeah, the Visconti Sforza tarot decks, there's 15 of them that they're in various museums like all over the world. But the fact that there's 15 decks, but they're not in their entirety. They haven't all survived. Like there's only like maybe like a card or two from a deck that's still left, but still, because
it's fucking paper, right?
Yeah, like, it's paper and hand painted, and like it's pretty incredible.
Dude, that's cool.
And it was only after the invention of the printing press that mass production of cards became possible. The expansion of tarot outside of Italy first went to France and Switzerland, and that was because of there is a time called the Italian Wars. So Italians were like spreading their fun little foolishness everywhere.
Love it.
And then the most prominent tarot deck version used in those countries, in France and Switzerland, was the Tarot of Marseille, and that was of Milanese origin.
Oh, okay.
Milanese origin.
Yeah, we said because like the Duchy of Milan and stuff. So it was all Italian origin.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then in the late 18th century, French occultists began to make elaborate but unsubstantiated claims about the history and meaning of tarot, which led to the emergence of custom decks for the use in divination via tarot card reading and cartomancy.
Ooh, cartomancy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the use of cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That makes sense. So then it's like the French kind of started a new narrative, and that's when like tarot as we know it now probably became like what it is.
Yeah, is like people who got more into the like esoteric spiritualism.
Yeah.
Tarot became the like, I don't know, the hot thing.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, because of this, there's two distinct types of tarot pack. There's those used for playing games, and then those used for divination during this time. And a lot of the older patterns, such as the Tarot de Marseille, originally intended for playing like games, also became used for cartomancy. So it all kind of got muddled up in the 18th century there.
Oh my gosh. I am loving all of this. I love that this is the origin of tarot cards, that it's like this made up thing that like people leveraged from Italian, like an Italian card game. It's making me, I've been wanting to start like a daily practice, not even really knowing what tarot cards are for, but as like a thought exercise, you know?
Yes, dude.
Yeah. And so this is like really, you know, I haven't really had the balls to start it, but now I'm like, I'm in.
No, this is a perfect daily practice. You can do you can pull a card every single day just to like kind of set your intention for the day. Yeah. And just love kind of, you know, tarot cards nowadays have like a lot of, you know, it just depends on what you're asking, like what you're needing in that time when you pull a card. And so it's very, very fascinating stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get back to that shortly, but just a little bit more background about how the like kind of mysticism got infused into the tarot decks. So the popularization of the esoteric tarot, that is a tongue twister. Started with
another metal band.
Esoteric tarot.
Dude. We come up with the best names.
I think that's a witch house band.
Ooh. Or like a French house band.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh my god.
So it started with this French dude, Antoine Court and Jean-Baptiste Aliette. Went by Atilia.
Yeah.
Etia. In Paris.
Why do you got to have a second name that's almost the same as the first? Wait, it's just his name backwards? Yeah. He goes by his last name. Oh, hi, sir. Yeah. Oh, you'd like a grande latte? And what's the name? Okay, well, it's my last name, but it's backwards. Like what?
Why are you making this so complicated?
Oh.
I didn't even catch that it was his last name backwards. Good job.
Oh, my God. It's because I hate him.
Yeah, this guy, man. So Attila, I'm just going to call him Attila.
Attila the Jean.
Aliette. Jean-Tiliette. Attila. It's like doing that song backwards.
Yeah.
Gentil. Yeah. Okay. So he was in Paris during the 1780s, and they were using this Antoine Court and Jean-Baptiste were using the Tarot of Marseille. And Jean-Baptiste, I'm not even going to use his like.
Yeah, don't bother. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, he was the first one to like take that tarot deck but reissue it, kind of like rework the Tarot of Marseille into like a cult tarot deck.
Yeah.
And he reworked the tarot for occult purposes around 1789. This man needed a gimmick to make something old new again. So he started saying that his tarot cards, like the ones that he made, were special because they were derived from the Book of Thoth, which is an Egyptian god. Just really just making shit up, you know?
That name, I cannot.
Thoth.
So it's like, excuse me, it's the Book of Thoth, like.
It's so thothy.
So thothy. Do you have your tarot cards? I was gonna do a reading from the Book of Thoth.
This is the esoteric tarot book of Thoth.
This is the esoteric tarot book of Thoth.
And then this man's stupid fucking name.
Yeah.
Atiela.
Yeah.
His tarot deck contained themes related to ancient Egypt because he's saying, no, this is like the new shit. Okay, this is it's really ancient, but it's also new. Okay, so and everybody's like
the New Testament.
Yeah, everybody's like, what?
It's the New Testament.
New. The New New Testament. Listen, I used to have a lisp, so I feel okay about this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fine.
I had to go to speech therapy.
I'm talking like I have my retainer in. It's so I could have a speech impediment right now if I go put my retainer in.
That's fair. So this new new, I don't know, 78 card tarot deck was used by esotericists, and it had two distinct parts. The major arcana, which is greater secrets, or trump cards.
The biggins.
The big ones, big boys, the trump cards. And they it consists of 22 cards without suits. This is the magician, the high priestess, the empress, the emperor, the hierophant, the lovers, the chariot, strength, the hermit, wheel of fortune, with no Pat Sajak. Thank you very much.
But
only,
no Vanna either.
Only Vanna.
Okay. Only Vanna. Yeah. Wheel of Fortune sans Pat.
Yeah. Justice, the hangman, death, temperance, the devil, the tower, the star, the moon, the sun, judgment, the world, and the fool. Cards from the magician to the world are numbered in Roman numerals from I to XXI, while the fool is the only unnumbered card. Sometimes placed at the beginning of the deck is 0 or at the end is XXII. The minor arc, 22.
Like an ace, like we said earlier. Like it can be 0, or I mean, it could be 1, or it could be 13 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. The minor arcana, lesser secrets, consists of 56 cards divided into 4 suits of 14 cards each. 10 numbered cards and 4 court cards. The court cards are the king, queen, knight, and the page or the jack.
Yeah.
In each of the 4 tarot suits. The traditional Italian tarot suits are swords, batons, coins, and cups. In modern occult tarot decks, however, the baton suit is often called wands.
We love the magic.
Yep, we love the magic. Rods or staves, while the coin suit is often called pentacles or discs. So that's fun.
Discs. It's a 2 of discs.
What is this, a circle? No, it's a disc. Is that a plate? Nope, it's a disc.
What the? No, your discs.
What is this, the queen of plates? Bitch, it's the queen of discs.
Suck my discs.
The disc jockey. I don't know. All right, well. Of course, if we're talking about esoteric occultism, we got to talk about Aleister Crowley. Obviously, he was like, a what? Tarot? Is that the new shit? Okay, I'm going to make my own deck, bitch. So Aleister Crowley, he made his own Thoth deck along with this own Thoth deck. That's so weird. He has Aleister Crowley had a weird deck.
and it had a weird disc. It had a weird disc too.
Weird disc.
The Thoth. Even looking at the word is funny to me. Like the look of the word and the sound of the word is such a delight.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
So he devised the Thoth deck along with this woman, Lady Frida Harris. And he said of his Thoth deck, his deck. The origin of this pack of cards is very obscure. Some authorities seek to put it back as far as the ancient Egyptian mysteries. Others try to bring it forward as late as the 15th or even the 16th century. But the only theory of ultimate interest about the tarot is that it is an admirable symbolic picture of the universe based on the data of the Holy Kabbalah.
So we solved it. He's the one that fucking came up with this, like, it's super ancient.
Well, Jean-Baptiste was the one who started it, and then Aleister Crowley, because he is like the, you know, he's like the hype man for occultism. Like, he is, we still know about this weird dude. But when he got a hold of the tarot, he really blew it up. Bitch, this is marketing, okay? Yeah. This is like,
it's a grift turned into a marketing stunt.
Kind of. Like, fuck, dude, what's something old that we can make new again?
Quick.
You know?
Pens? Books?
You know?
Journals?
Truly, it's like this is like something that has existed for like centuries, and then like Aleister Crowley is like, Egypt, Thoth, and he like
Thoth.
And then he said like this word salad about tarot, and everybody's like, oh yes, it's a symbolic picture of the universe.
Oh.
So this is marketing with a splash of cultural appropriation thrown in for good measure. He said Kabbalah, so this made me think about Madonna selling Ray of Light albums. Okay.
Oh.
Fucking love that album, by the way.
Oh my God. I hate that song. I mean, it's catchy.
Quicker than a ray of light.
Oh my God.
And I feel.
Speaking of what's old is new, her face. Okay.
Oh my God, Madonna, you need to, bitch. You know what? I'm not judging anybody who gets any work done, but there's a limit, and that limit is Madonna. Okay.
There's a line.
Good Lord.
It's
ma'am, just stop.
Less is more.
So there's literally a tarot deck for every sensibility, and people collect them.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah. How many decks do you have?
I think I have like 5. I don't have that many. I only have like 5 or 6. I don't know.
Lot.
I can't find like 3 of them. So, I know I have more, but I have my oldest and my newest on my desk here. I'll show you in a second. Like, but just doing research for this episode, I was served an ad for a Garbage Pail Kids tarot deck. Bitch, you know I bought that.
Oh my God, I can't.
I didn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
Did not even hesitate. I was like, yes, I will buy this immediately. So.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see it. Like, that's so good.
How is it that the ads that get served to me are so fucking accurate?
On point, because you're doing research for tarot.
I know. And
maybe you
Google,
looked up some.
Google knows all my weird fucking
Yeah. It's like,
history.
Also she likes farts and boogers or whatever. It's like, great.
Bitch. Yeah. Oh
man. Okay, well, I guess like before we show each other our decks.
Before we whip out our decks. Because we might do a reading. A real-time reading. Mm-hmm. We'll talk a little bit about like what you do with them and kind of like the meanings behind the different like types of cards you talked about. Mm-hmm. So people use also like if you know about tarot cards, like please reach out and tell us anything that you think would be helpful to know. Mm-hmm. I know there's people in our community because I've met people like when I've done Twitch streams that listen to the podcast that like are into it and stuff. There's something that we like are confused about or wrong about, like please reach out, let us know. Or if you have any good resources for like getting started interpreting cards or just like beginning your journey, I would love to know. I downloaded something from Etsy from it's called A Spark of Joy, and they have like these tarot like journals and prompts and like I love
spreads that they have for you. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it's just a downloadable PDF file. And then it's like so many things for like a new moon or like the beginning of the week or just a 1-card spread. And there's like little prompts to help you like ask a question and answer it.
Oh, I love that. That's
very
so
cool.
Fun.
Yeah. So like how you read the cards is you create a spread, which is just like an arrangement of cards. It can contain from like 1 to a ton of cards, and then they're arranged in a variety of ways. There's, like you said, like a 1 card spread earlier, like a good beginner prompt or spread. And then there's like a diamond 4 card, there's a 5 card cross, there's a 10 card Celtic cross, and so on. Like it's like, yeah, there's so many different configurations. You could probably make up your own. And so I did want to talk about, and this is for us, like I want to learn about this stuff also. So we're going to talk about the different types of cards, like the wands, cups, pentacles, swords, and then also like what the numbers mean, and then what the court cards mean, but like super top line.
Yeah.
And boiled down into layman's terms. And I also want to say I got this information from This Might Hurt Studios, which also This Might Hurt Tarot. They created their own tarot deck. It's this person who's an artist. I'm obsessed with their art. It's so good. So if you need another tarot deck, this is a beautiful one. It's all like hand drawn. It's so beautiful. And so they also have like a whole guide to tarot, and they have a guidebook they've written because they are also a writer. And so this
Amazing.
This is all from them. So wands. The suit of wands are associated with fire and deal with passion, desire, creativity, activism, and ideas. If wands were personified, they would be the muse, potential, ideas, and moments of epiphany that fire up creativity within. The suit of wands is also the suit of the spirit, primal energy, and our core selves. Wands are often trying to tell us about our personalities, our driving forces, and what is best for us at the center of our being. Wands are pure inspired energy burning hot in your gut.
Ooh. Okay.
Isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
Anyway, we'll talk about my deck in a second, but mine's interesting. Okay. Because it's like not exactly these things, you know what I mean? It's like not like wands, cups, pentacles. It's other things that you have to translate. So it's like extra confusing for me right
fun.
now.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. So fun.
I might have to get a very plain deck to learn a bit more. Okay, cups. The suit of cups is associated with water. Or do you want to read cups? And we could alternate?
Oh, sure.
So I'm not just like droning.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. The next is cups. The suit of cups is associated with water, and the meanings of the cards are associated with emotions, relationships, and connections. Because you're
fluid.
Like a chalice, like holding
Oh.
things. Yeah.
Good imagery.
Mm-hmm. Cups are romantic and vibrant. They deal with the full range of emotions, the good and the bad, the intentional and the chaotic. Cups are about the heart, displays of feelings and emotions in relation to people in your life. Cups focus on intuition over logic. They suggest that you are, or that you should be, making decisions with your heart over your head. Very interesting. I feel like it's like almost like a feminine kind of imagery, almost like it's like holding and being I don't know. Yeah,
like very much like a uterus vibe.
Yeah, that's what it's giving me here.
That's cool. Okay, pentacles. The suit of pentacles is associated with earth and covers the material aspects of life. Pentacle cards tend to deal with career, money, and our material possessions. Pentacles are about our bodies, the solid world, and all the joy and hard work that comes with physicality.
Ooh.
I think of the suit of pentacles as the results brought about by the actions of other suits. In other words, emotion, cups, thought, swords, and spirit, wands, bring about the events and physical manifestations of reality. Pentacles. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Of course, pentacles are not solely an end result, as everything is part of a connected cycle, and our real life circumstances affect all other aspects of our lives as well.
Interesting. I love this explanations.
Me too.
For these.
So thoughtful.
Yeah, very thoughtful and like very, like easy to understand.
Yeah. Basic. Like not like,
because I've read interpretations of all of these, of all the suits before, and it's just like very confusing. But this is like very straightforward and like it's good. Okay, swords. The suit of swords is associated with air. Swords are cards of the mind. They've got seriously cool, calculated, and harsh vibes.
Oh.
The suit of swords is driven by thought and often tends to deal with decision-making, intellectual pursuits, planning, and analyzing. I often think of each sword in a card as a thought. Many of the sword cards are glyphs for overthinking, madness, or thoughts in conflict. The suit of swords stands in contrast to the suit of cups.
Yes,
and suggests that, yeah, this is like more logic based.
Yeah.
Suggests that dicks, sword, dick. And suggests that choices are being made with the head over the heart. Not to say that like maleness is more logical than feminine energy.
I'm so glad you brought this up because this woman from This Might Hurt Studios, Isabella Rotman, she had some wonderful thoughts on like the quote unquote traditional gender binary. I think she's a queer person, so she's like coming from this as like maybe a bit more fluid or something. And so she said that gender is always very much the front, like the forethought. And there's like gendered cards, like trump cards, like kings and queens and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but she said that it doesn't have to be interpreted in that way, like, oh, this is about a man or this is about a woman in terms of the gender binary, but more so, this is her take on it ish, that paraphrasing, that like the cards are always trying to bring you balance in some way. And so if you look at it in those terms, like you can always see maybe where like balance could be coming from or where you're bringing more of a certain energy or something. So
just like a human person, a deck of cards, like a tarot deck, contains multitudes, and if you're if you don't fall into a binary, neither does a tarot deck,
totally,
or it's like has everything, what I'm saying?
It has everything. Yeah. So we'll like plug her again in a bit, but like
I love that. That's so cool.
It was really
what
interesting.
What a cool way to think of it.
I know. And I love that she commented on it because I was thinking that too. Like, oh, this is very like, it just seems so traditional. And like, how do you adopt that in a world that's like constantly evolving? But like, you just think about it a little bit differently, potentially.
Right. A reframe, baby.
Reframe it, baby. Theme of today. Okay. So the numbers, these are like, I think this is also, I've seen different interpretations. And these are also harder to think about, like hard to memorize, I guess. There's so many numbers. There's 1 through 10, but in general, the like earlier numbers or lower numbers are like more beginnings, and then the higher numbers are more maybe getting towards an end, or so like you could also think about it in that way. Like if you pull a lower number, that's kind of like more of a starting out situation. Middle numbers are like, oh, you're in the middle of this journey, and then towards the end it's like maybe you're wrapping it up. So
interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to paraphrase. They all have their own. Should we read all the individual ones or just skip through?
Yeah, we can skip through.
Okay. Yeah, so they all have their own. You can look on
there's like
This Might Hurt.
Yeah, and there's also various guides that
totally
talk about like all the different meanings of each individual number too.
Yeah.
Then there's court cards. The court cards depict individuals, each containing the energy of their suit from a slightly different aspect or at a different stage of development. Sometimes these archetypes are meant to be applied to yourself. They represent traits to emulate or to be wary of. Many readers see court cards as either signifiers for the subject or other people in the subject's life, like characters in the story of the reading. For example, the Queen of Cups reminds me of my mother. So when the Queen of Cups pops up in readings for myself, it's usually because she is involved or I should be thinking about her in some way.
Love the insight from Isabella. Love it.
That. Pages represent youth, students in the beginning of these things. Pages are at the very start of their journey through the suit, and they're very enthusiastic about it. Though they're not masters in what their suit has to teach them, they are committing to figuring it out. A page is optimistic and encouraging beginning.
Ooh, good. Another beginning.
Yeah. I'll read knights and then you read kings
The
and
last
queens.
two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then there's knights. Knights are about action. They're implementing their energy of their suit towards a specific goal. Knights are more experienced in pages, but they don't have a lifetime of experience under their belt, like kings and queens. Yeah. Yeah. They tend to be a bit extreme or impulsive. Always consider both the positive and negative of a knight's approach. When is excess helpful, and when could you use a little moderation instead?
Oh, I like that. Queens express the ideals of their suit internally. They are the human form of the best the suit has to offer.
Obviously.
Excuse me. In the highly gendered language of tarot, the feminine is introspective, gentle, and caring. These gendered archetypes can feel annoying and archaic, but remember, all of us have access to every archetype in tarot. Kind of like the point you made, like it contains multitudes. Queens have all the life experience of the suit and use it to better themselves. Kings express the ideals of their suit externally. Kings are stable, solid people who draw upon the various aspects of their suit to build things, lead, and improve upon the world around them. Some believe that the kings represent the most mature, perfected manifestation of the suit. This rings a bit too patriarchal and sexist to me, even though some of the kings in my deck are not men. I choose to read kings and queens as equally matured and self-actualized, simply choosing to manifest this energy in different ways. Queens internally and kings outwardly.
Love it.
And again, that's just like a nice, like, I really enjoyed her takes on some of the binary and gendered stuff. It was really interesting.
I love it.
Yeah, I just want to give a real shout out to like plug her website, thismighthurttarot.com. That's where you can, and I'll link this in the notes, but that's where you can go and buy her tarot deck. And also she has like a tarot cloth that you can like lay out to do your readings. Ooh. And like a guidebook and like little patches and artwork and stuff. Very cool. And it's part of her bigger site, thismighthurtstudios.com.
Amazing.
Or thismighthurt.com. I can't remember. But anyway, I do want to read really quick just about her because she feels like one of our people.
I love it.
As we thank her and shout her out again. So Isabella Rotman is a cartoonist and illustrator from Maine. Her art is usually about the ocean, mermaids, crushing loneliness, people in the woods, or sex. She is the author of A Quick and Easy Guide to Consent, illustrator and co-author of Wait What?, a comic book guide to relationships, bodies, and growing up, and artist in residence at scarletine.com. Isabella was nominated for the Promising New Talent Ignatz Award in 2017, and her comic, Like the Tide, was nominated for Outstanding Online Comic in 2020. Isabella is the creator of This Might Hurt Tarot, a modern and queer 78-card tarot deck based on the historic Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So you could find more information at thismighthurttarot.com. And that was her like about me section. But I just thought so cool, so on brand.
I love it.
Yeah, and her, again, like her tarot deck is gorgeous and very representative of a wide swath of like people and bodies, and it's very inclusive. So
amazing. I love that. Very cool.
Well,
I love it. I think I am going to incorporate it into a daily practice for sure. Yeah. Like pull a card every day. I want to get a journal too. That is a great idea. Like a tarot journal where you have like a prompt or like you know, and then you pull a card. Oh, I love it. I love it. So fun.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you guys, if you have made it this far and you're still with us, thank you so much for sticking with us. And
thank you so much.
If we are just saying all the wrong things about tarot, if you know more about it than we do, please holler at us.
Yeah. I'm tempted to be like, don't bother, because I kind of like how I've figured it out for myself. But also if there's some history to it or like a hot tip.
Yeah, if there's anything that we missed, we'd love to hear it. Let us know.
But also tell us like, if we're totally off base.
But yeah, we're very novice tarot people. So I think we're doing great.
I think we're doing great. It's like this, and honestly, like again, it's like these are I see it as a mindfulness prompt. This isn't determining my future. You know, it's like, and that's what people use it for, is like, you know, trying to tell the future or whatever. And it's and
I think like learning about
intentions.
Yeah, and I think learning about the history of it, like how it started and like that it became this kind of woo-woo thing because of some like weird French dudes who were bored and wanted to be like ascribe some new meaning to something that has been around for centuries. Makes it like less intimidating and more fun and more, you know, not so like gatekeepy, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
what I
like
mean?
that. Yeah.
That's
I really
like how
like
I
that.
feel like definitely more freed by the information that I have found about it.
That's good.
And definitely like don't feel like there's any kind of, you know, like I feel like tarot is like something where it's like not problematic. Like it doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Like, and it's for everybody. So
it's for everybody. And and I do love like that there is so much art involved with it. And like the origin of it is an art. It's like, it was an art project.
Basically.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
And entertainment. It was always meant to be entertainment. So
yeah. Yeah. For the drunk Italians.
Yeah. And it wasn't until some like, you know, old white dudes who were like, it's from Egypt and we're saying it's like this esoteric spiritual thing, and it's like, no, it's not. So
yeah.
But it can be if you want it to be also. So
yeah. Cool.
Love it. All right.
I want to say check out our website, DTFUpodcast.com. Check out our Patreon. Maybe we'll have maybe we'll do our own tarot reading on the Patreon. Who's to say? Who's to say? And maybe it is very very telling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. That's great. We're on social media everywhere at DTFU Podcast. All the places. And I think that's it.
Awesome.
All right. Well, listen, stay excellent to yourselves
and each other.
Bye.
Bye.